Here's a 6-minute video that I think does a great job at explaining what happened. Let's take a look.
It's the 13th of July in Butler, Pennsylvania. Former U.S. President Donald Trump speaks at a rally. It's only days until he plans to accept the official Republican nomination. He's just minutes into his speech when shots are fired.
Take a look at what happened.
Trump got hit, but survived. Someone tried to assassinate him in broad daylight. Here is how it unfolded. By the time this video is published, new details might have emerged. It's a hot, sweltering early evening as tens of thousands gather here to see Trump. Pennsylvania is one of 6 vital swing states that will help secure the win in the next presidential election. Butler skews heavily Republican, and it is a blue-collar town.
This is a big crowd. This is a big, beautiful crowd.
He is surrounded by supporters. Most are sitting or standing in front of the stage. Some sit on the bleachers, center, left, and right. Trump's support staff and security, including Secret Service agents, are right at the stage. Behind him are 3 large buildings. On the roof of the building on the far left and on the far right are Secret Service snipers. They are constantly scanning the surroundings, looking for threats. They can be seen in this video filmed by a crowd member.
Hello, Butler, and hello to Pennsylvania. I'm thrilled to be back.
Trump begins with his speech. Things seem normal. He turns to the right and points at a chart showing statistics on border crossings. At the same time, several people in the crowd notice a man with a gun on the roof of a building close by. It's too late.
Take a look at what happened.
All of a sudden, bullets start flying. One even gets captured on camera. Another building, about 400 feet or 120 meters north of the stage. The shots are coming from here, on the roof. The gunman is 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. He is armed with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. The gun was legally purchased by his father. First, he apparently fires a round of 3 shots.
Take a look at what happened.
Trump reaches up with his hand. The first bullet pierces the upper part of his right ear. He will later say that turning over to the right at that exact moment prevented the bullet from hitting him right in the head. He ducks down behind the podium, and within 3 to 4 seconds after the first shot, Secret Service agents swarm the former president and shield him with their bodies. Crooks opens fire again, immediately, with 5 more shots. Right before the first shot by Crooks, one of the snipers on the left roof behind Trump seems to detect the gunman and prepares to return fire.
Take a look at what happened.
Some outlets report that these snipers killed Crooks, while the Secret Service confirmed its personnel neutralized the shooter. We could not corroborate that it was in fact these specific agents. The gunman also hit spectators on the bleachers. 1 man died, 50-year-old Corey Comprador. 2 others were critically injured. With Trump's microphone still on, we can hear the tense exchanges among the agents. About 42 seconds after Crooks opened fire, they confirm the shooter is down.
Are we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move? We're clear.
They prepare to escort him to an armored vehicle.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down.
Watch out. Wait.
In about 75 seconds after ducking to the ground, Trump raises his fist. He is mouthing the words, "Fight, fight, fight." The resulting photos immediately travel around the entire world. The crowd starts to chant for the former president as he leaves the stage, bleeding. Trump is then rushed to a hospital. Later that night, he is flown to New Jersey. He appears to be well. There are a lot of questions we don't have an answer to right now. Why were the forces unable to prevent the attack? Analysis on X suggests that at least the snipers on the roof behind Trump were likely scouting for dangers further away, with this rooftop possibly falling into the responsibility of other law enforcement agents. We were unable to corroborate that. Why couldn't armed men climb up on this building? What was Crooks' motive? The gunman had no criminal history in Pennsylvania's public court records. The New York Times found a voter registration record for Crooks. It shows that he was registered as a Republican. They also found that he donated $15 to a liberal voter turnout group through a Democratic donation platform in 2021. He was a kitchen worker and had a membership at a local shooting club. The FBI found suspicious devices in both his car and home. They are being evaluated by the agency at the time of this recording. The investigation is ongoing, and new information is being published by the minute. President Biden and various leaders around the world condemned the attack and political violence at large. The picture of Trump, bloodied but defiant, with a raised fist in front of the American flag, will surely become a powerful symbol in his re-election campaign.
That had a lot of historical moments. So I want to make some prediction as to what's going to happen next. I think those shoes right there, they're $1 million shoes that Trump didn't want to leave behind. So he told everybody, hold up, let me get my shoes. So I want to see those shoes in the market. They're going to go for big money. Secondly, I think the ultimate move that Trump should do is go back to Butler, is go back there with heavy protection and do another talk with those people. Because those people did great. They were there for him. They stood there. It was amazing. I almost cried. The fact that they just sat there, no stampede. So in between now and November, Trump goes back there to thank them. Wow. That would be an amazing move. The spot where he almost got killed, if he goes back there, that would be the ultimate move. So what do you think? Do you think Trump could go back? I don't know if Trump sees my video. Actually, nobody watches these videos, but I will say this much. I want to see Trump go back to Butler, PA, and just talk to the people, give them thanks. Thanks for showing up, and apologies for the Secret Service doing such a horrible job. But just telling the people, I'm here for you. I'm here with you. Thank you, Butler, PA. And thank you to that family that one man died and 2 people got injured and are in the hospital in critical condition. Woo! But that was the ultimate move, man. Dodging bullets. Ready to die for this country. So remember to vote Trump 2024. Just how can you not vote after all those amazing pictures we just saw? The man dodging bullets, and he's out there for us. Insane. I moved to PA just recently, but hopefully the PA switches to red and switches to a Republican and votes for Trump, because what this man is doing or has done is amazing. So let's see. And also, if he goes back to Butler, PA, hopefully he's surrounded by like men, tall giants, strong men that could freaking take a bullet for him. That's what he needs to do. But with that said, we live in historic times. Woo! We are seeing things that nobody expected to see. It's like a real life movie. Make sure to give this video a like and let's keep moving.
Verbal or life.
So now the news and politicians are doing the best from calling this an inside job or a conspiracy theory, because what happened with ex-President Trump, it's insane. Like, the man had the hand of God on him. The phone is ringing. Hold on. Yeah. Making a video right now. Where you at? Hey, good looking out for going to the guy's house. Yeah, I hope so. You know, that's all we could do. Just hope. All right. Yeah, right now I'm looking at the camera. I'm doing a video about the conspiracy theories that's happening around Donald Trump. So welcome to Verbal Online. My name is Noel. And do you think it was a conspiracy theory, or do you really think it was not planned? But do you think it was an inside job? Like somebody from the deep state let this happen? Because how do you let a 20-year-old man, a young boy, get on the roof and have a straight shot at Donald Trump? That's insane. Like, the guy was a good shot. He had a good aim. It's just that Trump tilted his head. That's the only reason. Trump saved himself. And just based on that alone, the man is going to win the presidential election. We are living in historic times. This is stuff that you see in movies or you read in books of things that happened in the past, but it's happening right now. Like, Trump went to the RNC convention, and now he had 12 undercover agents around him. 12 grown men taller than him. That's how you do it. He had the JV team watching over him. He had like 4 girls smaller than him trying to block bullets. Really? How are you going to put a girl? How are you going to put a girl to block bullets so Trump will get hit? It looked like Trump was hating her. Trump was protecting the girl from the Secret Service. Like, I don't want to see a single DEI hire around Donald Trump. From now on, I want to see giants. I want to see grown-ass men that could crush a bullet with their teeth or with one hand. That's what we need around the president. Yes, everybody on there should be like a retired roster from the NBA, all football, NFL. Like, we need giants around the president. And that's what they did now with the RNC convention. You look around Trump and you see what a real Secret Service agent looks like. So shout out to Trump because he protected all those girls on the secret agent squads. He gave them a hug and he made sure they were okay. Can you believe that? The president is watching over them. We live in some crazy time. We are insane. But you know what? Out of this whole thing, we got the best pictures of Donald Trump looking at the camera with the flag behind him. And you can't buy that. You cannot even make it up on AI. Again, this man just made a real life movie. I'm getting that tattoo. And if you're going to be the president of the United States, you got to be able to take a bullet for this country. Like, Biden is battling the wind. The man can't even walk straight. He trips over sandbags. And you just hope he's alive once he falls down. But not Trump. Trump did like a Matrix move. He just said, he just moved out the way. This man did a Matrix movie. He saw the movie and he said, I got this, everybody. And and when he got shot, nobody moved. Like the crowd, they all ducked and they were just looking, waiting for Trump to say move. That crowd loved Trump. They was waiting to see what Trump got to say. Wow. The crowd was just there. Normally, it's stampede, everybody running, everybody scared. But not Trump's crowd. Yo, my man got 34 felonies and got shot. Call this man Tupac. Or call him, or what's the other guy? 50 Cent. These are the Tupac 50 Cent of the political world. Yo, he got more felonies than Snoop Dogg. And on September 18th, the judge is going to sentence him. Let's see how much time he gives him in jail. Because that doesn't scare Trump. You think they're going to dismiss them? Yo, if he gets sentenced to jail, loco, we're going to have a fucking, I don't know. You know what? Trump is just going to smile and say, let's go. Let's do this. That means he got to go to jail all the way to November. Because that's the only way the Democrats are going to win. That's the only way the Democrats are going to win. Like what, Kamala Harris? Because if they bring Michelle Obama and then she had a debate Donald Trump over Zoom because Trump is going to be in jail debating Kamala Harris, that's crazy. You see Trump over Zoom talking about, I'm here locked up, but I'm going to be your president. Remember to vote Trump 2024. Yo, and I can't wait for somebody to put up a song talking about how Trump dodged a bullet. Because, yo, how many politicians you know can dodge a bullet? My man got up and told everybody, yo, we got this. Let's fight. 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 Who does that? So every other politician is fake. So now you see Donald Trump walking around with a bandage on his ear. And you got people making fun of that. Like it's fake. And yo, my man, how is that fake? You think that was staged, the shooting? I mean, do you think Trump set it up to win votes? Like he faked it? Like, hey, take a shot and miss me, hit me on the ear, kill a couple of people around me. Imagine the guy would have missed. Because the thing is, you don't do a stunt like that with real bullets. You use fake bullets to do a stunt. Yo, blue, no matter who, Democrats are insane. Anybody that says that this was staged, you know what? They got a problem. They got to go to the doctor and get themselves checked out. Because everybody knows this was a real life assassination. That this man not only dodged a bullet, he didn't even need the Secret Service. He got up and started protecting them. Yo, which president tells the Secret Service, wait? He said, wait, wait, wait. And they stopped. Yo, any other president, the Secret Service would have told him to shut up and pick them up and carry them out. But not Trump. Trump is 6'3", 230 pounds. My man said, I ain't moving weight. I'm talking. Ooh. Gotta give Trump credit, man. Yo. All right, check out this video because this is crazy. Yo, the Secret Service, the head of the Secret Service is a female who promised to hire 30% DEI agents or female agents. So it's like, you want to hire little girls to protect the president? You're gonna hire little girls that never had a job before? Are you serious? Who don't even know how to put a gun away? I mean, if you're gonna hire a girl, that girl better be at least 6'4", 250 pounds.
United States Secret Service Kimberly Cheeto speaks exclusively with ABC News.
Kimberly Cheeto
taking responsibility for that stunning breakdown in security.
This is an event that should have never happened.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
You!
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director.
I should be fired. That's what she should say. Yo, Nate, you will hire her just to be equitable? Yo, Nate, you want me to send you? I'm gonna send you a link so you could join the conversation online. I'm recording right now. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send you a link.
Director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
He was doing his job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place with a gorgeous ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. Gary.
We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
On the roof.
It's much tougher than it happened.
You went on the roof, big guy.
Shooter was actually identified as a potential person of suspicion. Units started responding.
Suspicion? What are you talking about? This lady is guilty.
To seek that individual out. Unfortunately, with the rapid succession of how things unfolded, by the time that individual was eventually located, they were on the rooftop and were able to fire off.
You were supposed to be on the rooftop. Not you, but you should have had somebody out there posted. This is crazy.
The former president.
ABC News now learning that heavily armed local police were actually stationed inside the building. The gunman climbed, but they missed him. Butler town officials confirming that after they became aware of the threat, a local police officer climbed up to the roof and confronted Crooks, but did not succeed in stopping him.
See, I don't believe that. How can a police officer see a criminal and, okay, if you can't stop him, but at least call it in, at least radio in, or at least take a shot onto the sky? That's what I would have done. Just take 2 shots up, and that's enough to get Donald Trump to just take a knee or let people know that there's a problem.
What was your reaction when you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously, for the former president.
Investigators now trying to determine whether roof access had been properly locked down. The shooter climbing up seemingly unimpeded, about 400 feet from the stage, with a direct line of sight on the former president.
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, you know, there's a safety factor that would be considered there that we will.
A sloped roof? Are you insane? Are you out of your mind? Are like people supposed to believe what you just said? A sloped roof, that's dangerous. I'm sorry, Secret Service, there is no danger. You guys are the cream of the crop.
Wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, you know, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this fascinating interview between Corey Mills and CNN. And this CNN anchor is going to freak out when Corey Mills pushes what the mainstream liberal media would call a conspiracy theory about the failed Trump assassination attempt. Because a lot of people like myself, when this first happened, and in my initial analysis of what happened, I think I said this in the first video, I said, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something more nefarious going on here in regards to why and how this assassination attempt was allowed to happen. And I really don't like to say that because there's a stigma against pushing conspiracies. Everybody wants to throw you in the same bucket with Alex Jones and other individuals as well, too, that are kind of known for conspiracy theories. But in 2024, we all know that conspiracy theories are really just delayed facts, right? Because they always tend to turn out to be true if you give it enough time, right? I mean, this is just the reality of today's politics. So again, I'm team conspiracy, right? I am not ashamed to be a so-called conspiracy theorist. That just means that I'm a critical thinker, right? And I hope that you guys are all critical thinkers as well, too. Team conspiracy, okay? But again, CNN, they hate conspiracy theories, even though in this situation involving the Trump failed assassination attempt, a lot of people are wondering, how in the hell did a 20-year-old unsophisticated would-be assassin get on top of a roof with a direct line of sight at the president of the United States as he's speaking at a rally in an area that is supposed to be secured, an obvious place where somebody who would try to assassinate the president would go to try to assassinate the president?
A fresh out of high school kid was able to get that close to the president
and had time to line up a clean shot and fire off a few rounds before being shot and killed by Secret Service. It just doesn't make sense, okay? I have been through Secret Service multiple times, and I can tell you, they're pretty thorough, okay? I mean, they don't just let anybody in to the vicinity of the former president of the United States, okay? They kind of have it on lockdown. But in that situation, they did it, and a lot of people, including Congressman Corey Mills, has questions about how this happened or why this happened. And again, this guy, he served in the military in the Iraq War. He was a sniper. I've actually talked to him personally about his service in the Iraq War. So this guy is smart, okay? He's extremely sharp. And even he is saying that this doesn't make sense. And CNN is going to freak out at his theory about why this should be investigated further. Because again, you're not supposed to talk about conspiracy theories, right, on national television, even if it is warranted, especially in a situation like this that makes absolutely no sense.
You know what? I like the fact that that guy, he's part of the Congress or Senate, but he's in the government. So he knows better. He knows how to be clear about what he's talking about. So like that, conspiracy theories don't come up, but just common sense thinking.
I look at all of these things and I look at different videos where an assailant will pull a firearm on a law enforcement officer, and the first thing they do is they immediately pull and draw and mitigate the threat and the risk. You know, I ask why the local law enforcement officer did not do so.
Yeah, so that's a good question, right? That's also a part of the story that's being told to us that makes absolutely zero sense, which is this idea that a local police officer got on top of the roof and confronted the would-be assassin, and essentially the local police officer ran away. Instead of engaging with the suspect pulled out a weapon and the cop ran away, which again is tragic because even if, let's say, the cop got shot, right, that gunshot going off would have definitely prevented the assassination attempt on the president from happening.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody should have been a hero. Those police officers, all they got to do is take a shot into the air. That noise alone would have got everybody to make the president kneel down. You see what I'm saying? You don't got to call it in or yell it out. A gunshot into the air is enough for the Secret Service to put down Donald Trump or hide Donald Trump while they figure out what's going on. So one of those police officers with guns couldn't do that. Just take a shot into the air and then apologize for saving Trump's life. Like the best way to signal was to take a shot. Come on now.
Happening at all, right? So, you know, that cop in that situation could have been responsible, in my opinion, for allowing the president to be assassinated had the sniper actually hit the target, right? So again, just all around failure here. Apparently, Secret Service had assigned local law enforcement to, I guess, take care of that area, right? And they just did an absolutely terrible job if this story is true about the local law enforcement officer going on the roof and confronting the guy before he was able to line up a shot and then essentially running away. I don't know if that's true,
that is.
but this is what's being put out there.
The other thing is that when you set up an advanced team, I keep hearing this about the perimeter elements.
Yeah.
You know, the perimeter is actually established by your threats that are in the area. So if I don't have any threats outside of 100 yards, okay, fine, I can cordon off a certain area. But if I have a building 160 yards perfectly adjacent to the stage, that's an obvious threat, especially with an elevated position that has overwatch. That's a sniper's paradise. And, you know, we talk about Eagle's Nest. You also have, which no one talks about, but the water tower.
So what I'm hearing from you is it's not a failure on the ground for sure, but 100%. Also a failure in advance?
I think it's a failure in advance. I think it's a failure to have the counter snipers to be able to establish their range fin and their sketch maps.
I also heard we've also learned that local snipers were stationed inside that building. At the time.
I haven't heard that piece of it yet, but that doesn't necessarily make sense unless they were actually in.
That's a lie, because if you're in the building, you could hear somebody walking on top of it.
In a window which was backed off, because a lot of times you'll get yourself in there. Sometimes you expose your rifle in a way to try and do a force protection or a show of force that actually stops things. Others are actually more tactical, where they'll sit back a little bit. But a sniper for the law enforcement is only trained to shoot about 75 yards, unlike your counter sniper teams that are on set. But here's my problem. In having done this for so long, they always say the adage of ignorance is bliss, and I think that's true. I've done thousands of advances. I've done thousands of counter sniper operations with our teams in Iraq and Afghanistan, etc. The amount of negligence, the amount of mistakes that was made here, I have a very difficult time not leaning myself towards this was intentional as opposed to fecklessness.
But wait, talk to me about that. I actually heard you say this right the day after, which I wanted to ask you about. What do you mean intentional?
You know,
well, you know what he means, right? You know what he means. As in, somebody, again, we don't know if it was a lone wolf, lone actor, or maybe it came all the way from the top. Okay. Somebody made a mistake, but it wasn't really a mistake. It was intentional, right? That's essentially what he's saying, is that this is so bad, right? Like, there's so much negligence that it's hard to believe that this wasn't something that, again, was done intentionally. Now, again, I don't know if that's the case. But again, I think that it's reasonable to ask questions about that, considering how, again, we're talking about the Secret Service here. Again, what is supposed to be the best protection that you can get. But it failed for what seems to be an amateurish attempt to assassinate the president. Again, according to footage that has been released, that guy was on a roof about 2 minutes. He hasn't been spotted for 2 minutes.
And that's another thing. Killing an ex-president, that's on another level insane. Like, around the world are just going to question the security that we have in America and how easy it is to take down an American president. This is not just a regular politician, an ex-president and soon to be president. Man, let that sink in. There should be no bullets flying around an ex-president. Any of the ex-presidents are still alive. There should be no bullets flying around them.
Before he was able to fire off those shots. That is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable.
I mean, an intentional failure on the part of...
No, I wouldn't say an intentional failure on the part of, but I got to just, I sit here and I scratch my head. And you don't want to be the conspiracist. You don't want to be the person.
I'm telling you, because that's what it's leaning toward.
No, I know. And that's the issue, is that you walk this fine balance of, you're not trying to be a conspiracist, but you look at it and you go, how could this have gone so...
But it's one thing if someone on the street says it. It's not, I mean, you, Corey Mills, member of Congress, former sniper, you saying it, I mean, it makes my eyebrows go up. What, when you say you're walking the line on this, intentional what?
You know, it almost seems to me, I think that an investigation is necessary at this point within Congress, not just the FBI, not just others. You know, I look back at...
Yeah, you can't depend on the FBI, right? You cannot depend on the politicized FBI to do a thorough investigation into this. Again, it has to be some type of independent oversight on this. Okay.
And when Trump takes over, heads got to roll. And what I mean by that is people got to get fired, right? The whole FBI program got to be let go. The Secret Service, got to be toned down. All men getting rid of the head of the Secret Service agency. Come on now. A lot of things need to change.
100%. But again, what really bothers me is the fact that Corey Mills clearly is hesitant to say what he actually really means, which is that, yeah, there seems to be elements of an inside job going on here, but he doesn't want to say it because in today's society, there's such a stigma from critical thinking, right? Because all he's doing is critically thinking. He's saying, okay, this doesn't make sense based on my knowledge, my experience, which is professional, by the way, right? We're talking about a sitting congressman. But again, he's hesitant to really say what he means because he doesn't want to be smeared as a crackpot. And that is a huge problem in our current day politics in the way we talk about certain things, because essentially, if it was, in fact, an inside job, which I don't know, but I think that it is reasonable to ask questions about why was this allowed to happen? Why was the security failure just so bad, right? Like, again, if this happened to a private security team, you fire those people. I don't understand why Kim Cheadle still has a job. Kim Cheadle should have been fired immediately, right? Immediately, she should have been fired. The fact that she still has a job shows me that Democrats are not trying to unify. The first act of unity should have been to get rid of her. The person at the top has to go. It is a zero-fail mission. The fact that she hasn't been fired yet makes it even more sketchy. The fact that Alejandro Mayorkas hasn't been fired yet makes it even more sketchy. And listen, here's the thing. The more stuff they come out with, the sketchier it gets. Like, you guys heard about this news story claiming that Iran had been plotting to assassinate Trump for years in retaliation for what Trump did to General Soleimani in the Middle East. So they're saying that, yeah, we beefed up Secret Service in response to a possible assassination attempt from the Iranians, but yet you allowed this to happen. So this was a beefed up version of Secret Service. Allegedly, this was a beefed up edition of Secret Service. And they allowed this. They're also...
So Trump stepped up his security, or the Secret Service put more men behind Trump. I think at this point, we still got 4 more months to go. Now that security is beefed up, all we got to do is play it cool. It is what it is. But then once he gets into office, I'm sorry. People got to get fired, removed, or we got to put better people in charge. But right now, good thing that they beefed up security around Trump.
More allegations that the would-be assassin and the counter snipers locked eyes with each other before the assassination attempt.
Aaron, there's been some developments as the investigation has progressed. You know, what the investigators are telling us is, as far as a motive, a manifesto, the reasoning behind this, the suspect is still a blank slate. But what they have developed is a lot of the background about what happened that day. They know that he went to his employer at the nursing home where he works as a dietary specialist before this and said, I need Saturday off. I have something important to do. But he told his coworkers, I'll see you on Sunday. So he changed his days off, presumably for this. We also understand that when he got to the fairgrounds where this rally was being held for Donald Trump, the first thing that puts him on the radar of security people is near the magnetometer area where they're screening people in. He's carrying in his hand a rangefinder. It's a device that looks like a small pair of binoculars, but it's used by shooters to measure the distance when they're setting up a long distance shot. Because he didn't have a weapon, that would not have prevented him to go through security. But they did flag, what does he have this in his hand for? At that point, they told people, keep an eye on this guy, but then he leaves the secure area, the staging area, and he doesn't turn up again for some time until the crowd says there's a guy crawling up the roof and it appears he has a rifle. There is an eerie moment in here, Aaron, where he's taking the rangefinder and he's looking through it at the counter sniper positions. And one of the counter sniper positions is looking at him through the scope. At this point, there's not a gun in the picture, as I understand it, but they're saying he's looking at us, looking at him. Then when people alert the police and they try to come up the ladder to get him, and he confronts them with the AR-15 gun, they dive for cover. And then a moment later, he opens fire. But a lot of this sounds very spread out. The end of it happens very quickly. The last piece is the search of the car. as we reported last night, 2 remote-controlled IEDs, remote-controlled bombs in the car. The remote control for those devices found on his person on the roof, according to sources. 3 fully loaded magazines with nearly 100 rounds, a bulletproof vest. So it raises the question, did he expect to escape from this? And if so, what was all that intended for? What was to happen next? Questions that are still open in the minds of these investigators.
Yeah, it just don't make any sense, right? It makes absolutely zero sense. But again, this CNN anchor, who's an NPC, right? She's saying, well, how can you imply that there's some type of intentionality when it comes to what may have happened here? Well, because he's experienced, and you really don't even need military experience to come to the conclusion that the circumstances surrounding this are questionable, right? I'm just saying, I mean, again, it's like critical thinking is something that the media is allergic to.
And I'm thinking, all right, for an individual, if you looked at the escalations and how they are trying to approach him, let's just say that it was like, okay, first we want to censor and silence you, then we want to indict and imprison you. Now we're attempting to kill you and take.
Whoa. You, let's slow down.
Please.
I'm hearing 2 things from you. I don't want to jump ahead of things, but I'm also hearing you jumping ahead of things.
Well, actually, I'm just looking at all the different possible capabilities. One of the things as a military member, one of the things as a person who's running the special operations communities before, one of the people who's actually.
She is scared. She doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to hear the truth.
Done this is that you look at all potential analysis, right?
Donald Trump and his team have said, do not,
no, I agree.
Dial it back. Do not blame this on Joe Biden.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't say Joe Biden, to be completely
Who's the
clear.
they then? Let's be very specific.
Well, that's what the investigation has to do. Was it local law enforcement that had made the mistakes? Or was there something to it? Was there other types of things that we need to be analyzing or looking at and providing analysis? My point is that when something's so significant, you're talking about something that hasn't happened in decades, right?
I totally.
But my point is this: from a perspective of someone who's actually conducted these are not difficult advances. This is not like I'm putting together a stage placement and a tight shot. This is about looking at your surroundings. What is my green, yellow, and red route, which is your routes out in case? What is my actual elements that I need to be looking at as far as mitigating threats or risks or increased levels? Where's my range fan for the sniper that says, okay, here's my 100, my 200, my sketch. Here's an area where someone could shoot. Because here's my thing.
So you're
Let's
saying,
just say it's a Royce element.
You're saying this is so basic that how big the screw up was, that's what's leading your brain down this road?
That's exactly right, in a way. But because here's the other thing. Let's just say it's a resource.
Tom Emmer was just on with me, and he said very specifically to me, I wrote it down. He said very clearly, it is too early to be talking about who is at fault and who is responsible.
That's why an investigation is necessary.
Is it not dangerous? Is it not reckless to even be throwing around the word intentionally?
So
Wow, listen to this so-called journalist, bro. Again, it's almost like they're allergic to critical thinking. It's like, bro, he's not coming to any definitive conclusion in regards to what happened, but he's saying that considering the totality of the circumstances, the fact that, again, this is Secret Service, and this was allowed, such an amateurish attempt, something so basic.
Something to think about, man. This is something to think about. So, if you're still watching, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Here, I'm Noel, battling MS at Verbal on Life. We got to put our voices out there and we got to speak. He just gave us a lot to think about. Obvious, basic things that not only should we be thinking about it, but hopefully the Secret Service is thinking about. And this never happens again. Because this is an agency that has zero mistakes. All right? Mistakes cannot happen. Not allowed. And I mean, I even saw a viral video that depicts pretty well what happened that particular day. Here, let me bring it up for you guys because that video was spot on and short. I like the fact that it just stuck with the reality of things, what was happening on the floor. Because this is going to drive a lot of conspiracy people talking about what happened that particular day.